Yeah, obviously, second half, you guys really seem to turn it on. Just kind of tell me what was going right for you, what you did a little better in the last 40.
Well, obviously our our defense was better and our rebounding was better. We were able to force them into some turnovers and get some easy baskets and some runouts and those sorts of things. And then, now you have now you have Diddle cranked up and rocking. And obviously, when Diddle is cranked up and rocking, it's a good home environment. So we were able to limit them to one shot, and I thought we got them into contested pull-up jump shots in the second half, which was a big key because we gave up way too many layups and dunks in the first half.
This is a team that feels very morale-driven. You can get on a run really easily, but when baskets aren't going in, they're just not going in. How do you notice morale affecting your team at an individual standpoint?
Well, our team's no different than any other team. When you score, you feel better about yourself. And I try to always talk to them about, thinking of basketball from the other side of the floor. You're not going to make baskets every night. You're going to miss. There's going to be nights where you take good shots and you miss them. And we've had those nights, obviously, already this year. But when those nights are happening, you can still play really hard defensively. You can still limit them to one shot. You can still box out and rebound and now turn it on the other end, try and get you some layups and get to the free throw line and those sorts of things. And that's just got to be more of a focus for our team.
Bob has stepped in for Rodney tonight. What do you think about this performance tonight?
I know sometimes you guys look at me funny when I say that we have more than 5 starters, but we really do. And tonight was Baba's night, and he stepped in and he did a good job. He played through some pain with his shoulder and those sorts of things, so I'm obviously extremely proud of him. But I also have high expectations for him as well. So it's not anything new to the staff and to the players. We see it in practice.
So what was Rodney's issue, and what's it look like going forward for him?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you that he's got back spasms, and we do a drill in practice where you jump up and the guy kind of comes into you. We call it the wall-up drill, which is the way you're supposed to guard instead of trying to block shots. And somehow he tweaked his back. He's seeing the doctor today. I'm sure he'll get an MRI or something along those lines tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, it happened in practice this week. Yep.
They had 18 free throws in the first half compared to 1 in the second half. I talked to the guys before you came in, and they said, that taking them out of a chance to get a free point was one of your big points of emphasis at halftime. Not only the free throw comparison, they're 18 to your all's 4, but just not allowing them to do that in the second half. What exactly did you tell them at half about not allowing them to get to the free throw line?
Well, I said that at 12 minutes, both teams were in the bonus, and they finished with 11 makes on 18 shots, and we finished 3 out of 4. So, you have a chance to either change that, or we can come in at the end of the game and we can, be down about losing. And obviously, they did a good job, and they flipped that, and it helped us. It was big for us.
Is that something you like to do, that come out after the game and greet the fans, that kind of thing?
Yeah, you know what? I stole that from Purdue. I stole that from Purdue, because Mackey Arena is kind of circular. And so basically when we finish, I think that you should thank the fans for coming. Obviously they gave us a huge advantage and a boost tonight when we needed it in the second half. And, you should thank people, when they help you out. And I think it's – okay, yeah, I'm usually at the end of the line, so I don't see it, but I'm glad. That's what there needs to be interactions between the players and the fans, That's what makes college basketball special, and a place like Western Kentucky special, because you have such a great fan base and people that care.
He had several guys that really had their stretches where they almost took this game over. Moving ahead, I thought was great. Lander at times, it was a huge shots for you, but look at Newman's line. He was just really effective throughout this game.
Well, the thing I would tell you about Brandon, and this is what I told him in the locker room afterwards, he got some really big rebounds when we needed them in the second half. Ended up with 9. I don't know that he shot the ball particularly well. Like, he missed some open shots that he very seldom misses those. But, to go back to your original point, yeah, Christian had some really good play tonight. So did Tyrone. you know, it's a different game when you get Tyrone on the floor in the second half versus the first half. That certainly helped us because defensively, you know, he can make things hard on Blanton. He's long enough and big enough that he can contest shots without fouling. Whereas if you put Jalen Jackson and Christian Lander on him, you know, they're giving up, you know, 10, 15, 20 bounds.
Eastern was 2 of 13 from behind the arc in the second half. What was that defense like getting out and pressuring the guard?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could tell you that it was all defense. You know, they missed some open shots as well, but, you know, so did we. That's basketball. I thought that our pressure and I thought that our just overall recognition of the right players, not allowing them to take the shots, other than Jalen on the baseline when he got beat and number 4 hit it, Cooper. I thought we were there on almost every single catch, you know, and I talked to those guys before the game quite a bit about Marino. Like, if you're going to let the leading three-point shooter in Eastern Kentucky history, who, you know, is a good player, you're going to let him hit 5 threes, it's going to be a long night. So I thought they did a good job in terms of recognition, and then, you know, kind of the same thing with Tanner Buttrey. You know, you can't let those guys affect the game with their three-point shooting.
How do you feel like you guys dealt with their pressure? I think that's the most that you've seen consistently throughout the game. You know, the numbers say you did pretty much. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, no, I thought that they executed the game plan, you know, really well. We had 3 turnovers in the first half. We had Landers where he led him. We had BJ where he tried to hand it off, and then the one BJ just threw out of bounds, right? You eliminate those 3 turnovers, and now you're at 9. 9 turnovers against a team like that that presses for, you know, 40 minutes and 94 feet. That's really, really good. And, you know, you got to credit Donnie and Jalen and Christian and even Baba and even Baba for, you know, bringing the ball up.
Just want to look ahead, back on the road against Buffalo. You know, it's nice, obviously, to have some momentum going back out on the road. But just feel like, what do you have to do a little bit better to start picking up more wins out there?
We have to play better. I don't mean that to be whatever, but we have to play better. I mean, you know, we went to Canada and we shot the ball very poorly and we didn't share the basketball. We've shared the basketball the last 2 games, and I keep telling those guys, you know, tune out the outside voices, whether it's your parents or your girlfriend or your neighbor or your uncle or your AU coach, whoever, high school coach, whatever it is, tune them out and be invested in our team. And if you'll be invested in our team and you'll trust your teammates and share the basketball, it makes us a lot better. So to their credit, they've done that the last 2 games.
Any update on Blue?
You know what? Flu was available tonight, and he hadn't practiced for the last couple of days because he got an injection in his knee. And so I really wasn't 110% comfortable putting him in. But he was available, and there was, you know, if I would have needed him, I would have put him in. But, you know, Bob and BJ both played well.
Time for one more quick.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.